Hello, welcome to the second part of the tutorial. I watched the previous video and I saw that the screen here looks blurry. I'm using a video recorder which doesn't have or compresses the frame rates a lot. It should not stop us now. I'll try to find a better tool for future videos. So what do we have so far? We saw that we have this guy that keeps moving all the way to the left. We want to implement this guy. At some point we want to call it blueprint, which calls back C++, which changes direction, etc. Remember, we already have certain things, and I realized one thing. I want to change this guy to this guy. The reason is I want to, when I push spacebar, I want to change direction manually, but I want to intercept the spacebar in Blueprint, not C++. Why? Because it's easier to manage that in Blueprint, and that's an advantage of using Blueprint. So if I do this, I have to go here and remove the implementation because it's not event anymore. Okay, so while we're thinking, let's build just to make sure things are good. And things are not good. Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, so how do we change direction? I want to create a float which has value of 1. So let me do this, float direction, and in the constructor I'll initialize that to 1. And what I will do here is I will see how much my x would be if I incremented this guy. Now if that value is greater than my initial x, what I already started, plus max x. Now max x, where did we set that? We set that in the editor, remember? Here is max x. I have 40 under CPP items. Under CPP items, I can edit anywhere. Blueprints are powerful. Okay. So I add this guy plus max x. So if that's true, I want to change the direction. Or actually, I could change the direction here, but that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is to interact with the blueprint. Otherwise, if I travel the other way too far, let's reach left, else move the guy. So I'm saying, see how much it is, how much distance it is to move the guy. If it's too much to the right, call the blueprint, tell the blueprint, raise an event in the blueprint. The other way around, if I move the other way back, raise, call the blueprint. Both are x. I'm glad I'm catching them here. Otherwise, set the guy. Okay. Now what do we do with the blueprint? So I'm gonna open the code, right click, has reached left, has reached. Now why are these guys here? Because we compiled our C++ class, remember this guy? So we compiled the methods, we exposed them through macros, and they're accessible with blueprints, that's what's happening. And these space bars are inserted by the editor. So what do I want to do? I want to say print left reached. Now I want to call C++ back. Change to right. So if I reach left, change to right. If I reach right, I will say change to left. Compile, save. So from C++, this event, print called C++ back. Very inefficient implementation, but very simple example to show you how to get blueprint talking to C++. Now remember, in C++, we were forced to create this implementation guide. You cannot compile without this. For every blueprint native event, you must provide for the method with an implementation. Why is that? Because if you have an event, you can right click, add call to parent function. So now if I do this, when the event is raised, this guy will implementation will change. Then this guy is changed. You know what? I'm gonna remove this guy. I have an idea to demonstrate this. So in one case, I'm gonna call the parent function. In the other case, I'm not gonna call the parent function. And I'm gonna implement what I wanted to implement in this function in here. Okay. So how do we toggle these? This is really simple. So change to left. Which one do I have the parent? The left has the parent implementation. So I'm going to introduce a deliberate bug here. So I will say direction equal 0, 0. If this ever gets called, I'm in trouble. Yeah, shooting myself in the foot. However, in here, I'm going to say switch the direction back to the other way. In here, I'm gonna introduce a bug. But this will never be called. This will never be called. I just want to demonstrate for you guys how it works. Now change to right. Direction equals change to left. No, something is weird. Hold on. Has reached left. Reached right. Change to left. So I need the change to left. No, I don't want this. This is I'm shooting myself in the foot. Change to left is change to right. This one is the one that never called. Right, this is called change to right, and change to right, I never called it here. And parent has reached right, I never called it. So this one also, I never called it. Now when I reach left, I want to change it to right. When I reach right, it will call change to left, and I'll do that. Okay, what's happening? C++ to event to parent, which is the has reached left underscore implementation, print screen. No more C++. Okay, here C++, event, no parent, print screen. call C++ back again. So what do we have now? And I shot myself in the foot, of course. Well, let's see what's happening. I need to change direction. That's what happened. So by multiplying here by direction, which is by design either 1 or -1, I can get my vector to change. There you go. It's moving and printing on top of the screen. Okay, so there are no bugs here, and you've seen how to call C++ back again. Now what about spacebar? There are ways to bind keys through going here, project settings, etc., input, and creating stuff here. You can see there's lots of videos on YouTube on how to do that, but I want to show you like something quick. I can type spacebar is pressed. What do we do? While spacebar is pressed, we want to change, we want to toggle. Okay, but I do not have a function called toggle. Let's add that. Toggle. So it has to be, we want to call it from blueprint. So toggle direction, and if you notice, it's while pressed, it executes this. No, once it's pressed, it executes this. Once it's released, I'm not sure if this is while pressed or once pressed. We'll play with that and see what happens. I need to implement this function, toggle direction. Copy paste. Whoever invented that is a genius. Toggle direction. So if it's -1, it becomes +1. If it's +1, it becomes -1. Okay. Build, and now I should be able to call this from blueprint. Toggle direction. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, before that, I'm gonna click on my cone, max X. I'm gonna make it something like 150. Save and play. Now it will move much faster. I mean much further now. Okay, so spacebar is already tied to my spacebar is not working because it already takes me up. That's part of the controller. So we have to try to change that. I'm trying to take a shortcut, and shortcuts are not always necessarily the best thing. I'm gonna say B. Letter B. Let's see. Let's see if we can actually recognize that. B pressed. Compile, save, play. Okay, so obviously I thought it's gonna work quickly that way, but we do have to toggle it. Let's do that. If I go to project settings, input, action mapping, whoa. All right, toggle actor direction or toggle input. So I created a toggle input and I'm tying it to the letter keyboard B. You don't need to save that, it saves immediately. Go back here, it's called toggle input. Pressed. Now this may not work. Okay, so it's still not working, and the reason is my controller is the default controller. Game mode, let's say, so I went to world setting, game mode for now. We're not gonna go into details on these, so I said this is my game mode. Exercise, and let's see now if something changes. Yeah, I need to be able to override my controller. There's no way around this, or not that I know of. Okay, so we have satisfied the objective of the training. We know how to let C++ interact with blueprints, but as a teaser, I'm gonna right click blueprint class, and I'm gonna say controller. I'll talk later about that in a different video, so I'm gonna override. I'm gonna put a different player controller. My controller BP. So now I have a controller. And let's see my inputs. Yep, here it's still there. And I'm gonna create. So notice there is game mode here. Either I have to select. Okay, here's the thing. For my game mode, which is, by the way, game mode, we're not doing anything here or exposing anything to select. That's why we can see them, but we cannot change them. However, if I remember how we can wrap everything with a blueprint, game mode, where is my, this is my exercise game mode. So I say extend this class, and I'll be able to select it here. Now if I do this, it's magic, huh? Now I can easily change the player controller. I could have done all these in C++, but I can also do them very quickly in Blueprint. So now I have my controller BP. Now it did not change. Let me see what's going on. My controller BP is that one, and there's nothing here. Anyway, I don't want to go too far in this video. I'll create another video to show how to intercept controllers quickly. Thank you.